Hello, how you doing today? Welcome to another episode of Ubuntu and Open Source. As you can see, today is about Freespire in my review. This is a stock install other than the updates and installing a simple screen recorder since it's based on 1604. Simple screen recorders not in the official repositories yet for Ubuntu. That doesn't come till later. So if we look here onto the right, this is the app, an app button where you can log out, shut down, suspend, etc., etc., etc. It comes with 4 virtual desktops already enabled. Volume button. This icon looks a little different. It's kind of new, but if we click on it, we can see it's the network button. Notification area with my simple screen recorder and the time here. Then we come to the task part of the panel. In the panel preferences, just right click. And it's just like any other XFCE build of Xubuntu. And you can see here are the items that are in the panel. You got a separator, the action button, workspace switcher, another separator, an indicator plug, notification area, then the clock. Then the Windows buttons after the separator, and another separator, and finally until you get to the Whisker menu. Now here, you can back up and restore your panel for XFCE. That came pre-installed. It's not an add-on or anything like that. It's just set up, installed that way. Appearance, of course. Display. And then of course here's your window button. Now here I have one in terminal H-top. Now this is a Dell Voice Draw dual core 2 dual Dell Voice Draw 200 with a Core 2 dual. This is where I do most of my operating systems running that I post on YouTube. And with my Q4 OS, from a fresh boot, the operating system ran 258 megabytes. I hovered around 250 megabytes. So I did a screenshot of this one too, of a fresh boot. Let me go full screen here if I can. Here we go, F11. Now, a fresh boot, cold boot, you can see 1 minute, 46 seconds, 352 megabytes. So XFCE runs about 100 megabytes larger than the Trinity desktop in Q4 OS. I just thought that was an interesting thing. Whereas LXDE and XFCE are lighter weight desktops. Trinity happens to be quite a bit lighter than XFCE by about 100 megabytes or so. Give or take whatever you have running in the background for your panel and desktop. And then we get to the Whisker menu over here. This is just like any other Whisker menu. It came pre-set up with the hover. I know when I used to properties, Whisker menu, with this behavior, I'd have to manually switch it to the hover. switch categories by hovering. So Freespire has set that up in there automatically. And all these buttons, of course, are already set up automatically. And all these here. And all this here are set up automatically. Some of the things I would used to have to do when I decided to move my panel up and down. Let me show you why this is interesting. Panel preferences. I'm going to unlock it. And I'm going to move my panel all the way to the top. I'm going to lock it again. And the Whisker menu adapts when you move it to the top and bottom. See now how the search bar and all these buttons here are close and next to the panel. I don't know if Xubuntu has changed that. But I know previous installs with the default Whisker menu, I would have to actually go in here to my Whisker menu properties, come to the behavior, and check all these that I wanted checked. With Freespire, it has done that automatically for you. I thought that was interesting too. Panel preferences. So I'm going to move it back down. So for me, kudos to Freespire for doing that. Unless Xubuntu builds have been doing that on their own lately, along with the backup and restore. Close. I like the look and feel. Arrange desktop items. Open terminal here. So back to the Whisker menu. Like I said, this is stock install. The only thing I have done is installed Simple Recorder, like I said, and done the updates. So let's go to the updates. It looks just like any other software updater. Nothing special. It's doing its search. As you can see, US Archive, Ubuntu.com, Ubuntu. The only thing you get is about XFCE. Version 4.12. You see, my computer is up to date. UNet boot. Nice. Comes pre-installed. Task manager, system profile, benchmarks, system log. Midnight Commander. Interesting choice of an application here. Now see, that doesn't come with most distros from Ubuntu. A simple front end to easily connect, mount to local remote files. Connect, view. That's a new app. always have to do terminal or something with the file manager. I like Thunar. Cool. GW package manager installed. Sometimes you got to install it yourself. Wouldn't come with DOSBox emulator, settings, about me, additional drivers. Of course, you can see I did the about me already since I have that up there. Accessibility, additional drivers. Let me check additional drivers out. Like I said, I installed this, and let's see. I know I have an NVIDIA card in here. Interesting to see if it automatically installed it or not. No, it's using X.org X server. Interesting. But I'm not going to do the NVIDIA driver install right now. Backups, Bluetooth adapters, Bluetooth manager, desktop display, audio settings, G-parted. Sometimes you'd have to install. Domain blocker. Really? So you can set this up to block domains. Now that is nice to know. Domain name. Fascinating. And you can see I had to put in my password to start it. So there you go on that. Like DMGTK, greeter screen, just as any menu editor. Penguin Guy Builder. So now that you have this here in Freespire, you can now download an ISO, build your own Freespire or Xubuntu or any other Linux distribution that you are liking. And of course, these are for the settings here. Many of those applications come for the settings menu here. Theme, configuration, language, users, about me, etc., etc., etc. I'll close that out. Going through the menu still. Notifications, orange preferences, onboard settings, printers, software updater, software and updates, startup disk creator, synaptic package manager. As you can see, I've already been through systems, and I've already been through settings, and by default they did not put any kind of Ubuntu software center in here. So to get any other software from the repositories, to start off you'd have to know what you're looking for and get it from Synaptic Package Manager. And so Freespire has chosen this here to be your default software center. Interesting. So this Freespire wouldn't be exactly good for a brand new Linux user. Since you're getting everything from the Synaptic Package Manager and not a software center type. Let's, whoops, if I could spell. Yep. Oh, here we are. My bad. I'm correcting myself. Here's software. There's a software application. Let's go shopping. So where did I not see that? Soundbus pre-installed. Software updater. Software and updates. Start up this. Synaptic Package Manager. Okay, I'm not too crazy. It's not in here. Accessories. Synergy. Interesting. Synergy is a default application installed. Why? Well, it's in favorites. The software is here in favorites, but interesting. We got software updater, software and updates. Start up this. I know that's not the same application. No, it's not. That's interesting. At a software center, it doesn't show up in your system and settings. So you most definitely should not delete that particular application from your favorites. Wow. Because see how Audacious is here? And then it's also in your favorites over here. Same with Patrol. But it's not showing up in settings, in system, or settings. Other than that, that's interesting. Okay, Office. Let's minimize this so we can see later on what it has. It's been a while since I've been with Xubuntu. Orange Global Time Calendar G Numeric for spreadsheets, Abby Word for word processing, multimedia, sort of kind of went over that already. Cheese for webcamming, Audacious, sound recorder, internet, Firefox, no Chromium. I prefer Google Chrome anyway. Transmission, NitroShare, transfer files from one device to another. Never heard of that. I'm going to have to look into that later. Another app that I saw interested, though I didn't go over, I'm going to come back to it when I was looking through here. Not workplaces. Spaces. I saw it. Where did I see it? It was something I haven't seen. Let's continue on. Maybe I'll see it again. Internet NitroShare. Ice is an interesting app to come pre-installed. That's what you mostly find in Pepperment. It's nice to see it that someone else finds it a useful tool. Ice will take a website and make it start up like an app. Geary for email, transmission, graphics. Pinta, front manager, games, DOSBox emulator, Dream Chess, Solitaire, accessories, file manager run, Midnight Commander, Worker. That's what I was thinking about. There's the terminal Worker. Okay, so you can see I have started this up before I started this recording. It went through a startup wizard for the first time. And I've never seen this kind of file browser before, or heard of it, for that matter. Which is this here, pretty much. It did a simple, wizard thing. Pretty much some of the same stuff you see here. It did a language selection in this wizard, and something else, a couple other things. Other than that, that was it. But I've never seen this file browser before. It shows you all the permissions here, the size, the name of the directory or application, and the type, directory, image, unknown, the owner, and its modified time. Now, by default, it comes open with these two panes here. I've never seen this application before, but it's interesting. Of course, your simple run-of-the-mill thumbnail, Art Drive Manager, Character Map, G Calculator, Midnight Commander, I've seen and heard of before. Orange Global Time, Screenshot, search for Synergy. That's nice and interesting that Synergy is a default app to be installed. Here's all the applications. See if there's anything else that it brings up that I didn't see. Sombra's pre-installed. Nice. Okay, well, that's pretty much it for that. Let's close that out and let's get back to the Software Center. So it does show those applications that are installed as it says install. Get iPlayer, Full Mumble, Node-RED, Spotify, Slack, Sudoku. Categories, it has audio categories. Graphics. Simple Scanner, Shotwell. Things for the system. Emulation, file systems, file tools, monitor, security. Oh, you can search. Let me go ahead and install that real quick. Interesting, as with most Ubuntu type derivatives, that this does not come pre-installed. At least the graphic user interface one. The terminal one is usually there. You just got to know to use terminal to activate it. The question is, where is it gonna? There we go. Firewall configurations. And here we are. See, by default, it's not turned on. So let's go ahead and turn that on. There we go. I must have clicked it one too many times. Okay, back on. So, note to Freespire, if you want to be even more different, not only have GUFW installed by default, the graphical user interface, but how about having that firewall turned on too? Okay, let's go back. Oh, here we are. Development to Internet Utilities. Firefox is Chromium if you want it. Obviously, Google Chrome would have to be something you would want to download and install. Education, must have a lot there. I'm not worried about that. Office, Abbey Word, Evolution, LibreWriter, Impress, Cal. I prefer the whole LibreOffice suite itself. I'll do that later. Video, Cheers, Open Shot. VLC, take care of that later too. I like to have that. Games, large selections of games. If we click all, I was going to say it might take some time to populate, but there it goes. All the games. It's quite a few games. Of course, there's MAME and MESS for arcade emulations for you retro gamers. Science is for electronics, electricity, engineering. Curious now. Oh, no fritzing, really? Fritzing. Man, would I have to download and install that manually then, huh? I can't remember if it has a deb file for it. But this is Fritzing. Download. If you want to donate, you can donate. Order releases. Linux 64-bit. See, it's an archive file. D. I prefer, when I'm using Debian-based operating systems to have it either in the repository or have a deb file. Windows, Mac, Linux. Yeah, they're all going to be Arch file. I mean, yeah. Archived file. Okie dokie. Well, I have to see what I can do about that later on. Skype. Right there. Okay. So there was a little show of Freespire. Uh, 1604. I'm liking it. It's pretty nice. It's an interesting Xubuntu derivative. A few applications, enough to get you started, but a little bit of work to get it where you want it to be as far as Office applications goes and other things. Thank you.